As I sat and listened to the beginning of this debate, my heart simply broke. And many people know me for being able to do alliterations, and all I could think about was amnesia allows adolescent accountability avoidance agility from across the aisle. So work with me for a second. Imagine being a young man born to Jamaican and Panamanian parents who messed up not once but twice. Imagine standing in front of a judge with your whole future hanging in the balance, and instead of prison, you are given a promise of mercy. Your record gets wiped clean. You get a second chance at life. Now imagine taking that promise and turning it into promotion. You go to college, you get a job, and even become a member of Congress. That's what redemption looks like. That's what America is supposed to be about. And that is exactly the story of the next wannabe governor from Florida.
The room felt tight, heavy, full of people expecting drama but not understanding how explosive it was about to get. Jasmine Crockett sat quietly at first, hands folded, waiting for her turn. But when she finally leaned into the mic, her voice trembled with something that wasn't anger. It was disappointment. As I listened to the start of this debate, she said, my heart broke. You could hear a pin drop. She talked about second chances, about young people slipping, stumbling, messing up, about redemption, the kind America claims to believe in. Her words painted a picture. A kid born to Jamaican and Panamanian parents, making mistakes, standing in front of a judge with his future hanging by a thread, getting mercy instead of prison, turning that grace into a college degree, a job, and eventually a seat in Congress. That, she said, is what this country is supposed to be about. Right there, before things turned nuclear, I want to ask you something. If you're watching this right now, drop a comment and tell me where you're tuning in from. City, country, I want to see how far this audience stretches. All right, back to it. Because after that moment of heart, of humanity, of clarity, the temperature shifted fast. The studio lights burned hotter. The tension in the air sharpened like a blade. Everyone expected sparks. Nobody expected a firestorm. Jasmine shifted from hope to heat. Earlier, she said, someone called America's great cities hellholes. Let's talk about Los Angeles. Then she dropped the hammer. That so-called hellhole sends nearly $20 billion in taxes to Washington, more than almost every state in this country. LA isn't dragging America down, it's carrying America on its back. The crowd clapped, the host nodded, but the camera didn't stay on Jasmine. It swung straight to Barron Trump. Tall, polished, smirk locked in place like he was born rehearsed. He leaned forward the way a prince leans when he's ready to remind the room who he thinks he is. At first, he was charming. Jokes, compliments, playing the I'm just having fun air routine. But it didn't last. Because every time Jasmine spoke, Barron didn't hear her, he studied her, tilting his head, watching, waiting for the moment he could pounce. And when the host brought up qualifications in politics, Barron didn't hesitate. He leaned toward the mic, eyes narrowed, smirk sharpened. You talk big, but a lot of us think you're not even qualified to sit at this table. Maybe you'd be more at home in a mental hospital. The room froze. The host blinked like he misheard. The crowd gasped so loud it rattled the mics. The insult hit like a bomb. Everyone waited for Jasmine to snap, lose her cool, fold, but she didn't move. She leaned forward slowly, like someone closing a door before delivering the truth. You think you can insult me, hide behind your dad's last name, and make me look small? Then the strike. Tell me something, Barron. Who's your mom? Ivanka or Melania? The room exploded. Gasps, screams, even a few people clapped their hands over their mouths like they couldn't believe she actually said it. Barron's smirk evaporated. His entire posture changed. Suddenly, he wasn't the heir. He was a kid caught off guard. Jasmine didn't let up. This isn't gossip. It's about power. It's about who was actually making decisions in your father's White House. The camera zoomed in so tight you could see Barron swallow. Was Melania, the first lady who disappeared from the spotlight, or Ivanka, the daughter who had more influence than half the cabinet? Silence swallowed the room. People sat frozen. Even the host didn't dare to breathe too loud. America deserves to know, Jasmine said, because when families turn into dynasties, transparency dies. Barron tried to laugh it off. His voice cracked. He accused Jasmine of getting personal. Jasmine shook her head. This isn't personal. It's about who was whispering in your father's ear while policies were signed that changed millions of lives. So I'll ask again, Melania or Ivanka? The audience leaned in, waiting for an answer he didn't have. And Jasmine wasn't done. She pivoted, sharp, direct, and unflinching. Republicans scream law and order while protecting their own dynasties. They defend Project 2025 but ignore real solutions for the people. Barron tried to speak. She cut him off before a syllable escaped. When you can't defend your record, you throw cheap insults. That's not strength. That's insecurity. Her voice tightened. Clear. Controlled. The American people don't care about your last name. They care about honesty. They care about schools, safety, jobs, and truth. Then the line that sealed the night. And if asking questions about who's really pulling the strings in your family makes you uncomfortable, maybe you're not ready for politics. The host looked like he wanted to crawl under the desk. Barron sat red-faced, shrinking, small. Jasmine leaned in for her final blow, the one that replayed on every channel, every clip, every rewind. This isn't about me or you. It's about America. And America deserves leaders who don't hide behind dynasties or family secrets. Leaders who tell the truth. The silence that followed was so heavy it felt physical. Then the room erupted. Standing ovation, thunder, people yelling her name. Barron tried to recover, but the image was already locked in. Jasmine Crockett, calm, sharp, unstoppable. Barron Trump, stunned, rattled, and outplayed. And as the broadcast ended, Jasmine's closing words echoed across the country. This isn't about politics. It's about trust. And trust starts with the truth. The cameras faded to black. The night was over, and Jasmine Crockett didn't just clap back, she delivered the political takedown of the year.